We're here today on the island of Manhattan to do a gun video. Awesome, right? Except every gun video we were planning to do got shut down. So instead, we have come to a grand location to do a fan Q&A session. Along the way, we are gonna play a little game. We are gonna be filming the Q&A from 4 locations associated with classic action movies. Now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to play along in the comments and try to guess the locations before I reveal them. The winner will receive the ultimate prize, love and affection from a left-handed ginger that's, according to you, going to hell. Anyway, on with the show. Question number 1, what got you into firearms? So, I grew up, I'd say, recreationally with firearms. My dad was a gun guy, so grew up around it a little bit, but ultimately was living in California, not a shooter. I think I have one like revolver, and just wound up with a bunch of free time in my schedule where, I had some recreational time and a little bit of a couple bucks in my pocket to play with. And so I went and got my first gun, signed up to take a class, and I got completely smoked in that class by 2 girls. There's only 3 of us. It was 3 of us, me, 2 girls. They both completely kicked my ass. And my male ego brain kicked in, and I was like, I can't have this. I can't lose a shooting competition to women. And so I started training every weekend, started going to classes, and I just kind of went down the rabbit hole. Largely started out as a Glock guy, and I think at one point I had like 9 Glocks, and kind of evolved into 1911s, and I was kind of a hybrid of 1911 and Glock, and now I'm primarily a 1911 guy. But yeah, that's really what it was. I've got an obsessive personality, bought a gun, sucked with it, wanted to get better, and kind of dedicated myself to getting better at it. All right, next question. Any gun or gear purchase you believe wouldn't be a crowd favorite, but you like it regardless? Yes, I would say recent ones. A really good example would be the Archon Type B. I thought the gun was cool, right? No one really watched that video. It's fine, no one really watched that, but it was like, I thought the gun was cool with the Archon, with the comp on it and everything. I was like, I think the thing's cool and I want to do a video on it. So yes, I enjoy it. I probably won't sell that gun. I like it. No one really else cared about it though. The Walther P99 Final Edition, I think that's another case of, I saw the gun come out. I know the P99 been out for a long time. I saw it and I was like, I like it. And if they're discontinuing it, that makes me want it even more. So there's certain things like that. And I would definitely say moving forward, we're going to see more and more on the channel. I'm just kind of going down a path of like, we're going to be doing a lot of movie guns and things like that you guys may or may not find interesting, including one we'll be filming in a couple weeks. I think they're cool, and I want to do stuff that makes me happy. So yes, I'll try to do stuff that you guys enjoy too, but I'm going to also buy guns that I think are cool, kind of regardless of what anyone thinks. And then last question, thoughts on MP5 clones? So MP5 clones for me, I would say, are great. There's nothing wrong with them. In fact, many of them are great. And if logic was really what we were debating here, you would say, yeah, some of the clones really are the value in terms of, hey, it might be 15 hundo, but you're getting a completely reliable, functional gun. Great, that logically makes sense. If you're asking for my personal sort of stance on clones, I'm a bit of a purist. So I like the thing made by the people that are supposed to make the thing. So like all of my MP5s are HK based guns. One of which, the Ronin gun, was a base HK SP5 that we basically chopped up and destroyed to make the SD version. But personally, I'm kind of a purist, so I want actual HK guns. It's not that I'm opposed to clones. I think they're great. I think for many people, it is the answer versus dropping $3 grand or whatever on a factory HK. But for me personally, I'm factory or die. Okay, location reveal. Has anyone figured out what this bad boy is? It's the Plaza. It's the Plaza, New York. What was the action movie? How about this? Rob Schneider, anyone? Rob Schneider? How about this? Your boy Trump? Guess who he helped out? Macaulay Culkin. What was he doing? He's just hanging out at Christmas time. Home Alone 2. Did I honey dick you a little bit on the action movie? Yes, but to say that Home Alone 2 doesn't have action, we would be a little bit delusional here. So the Plaza, the movie, is Home Alone 2. Ciguera Gear, I bet you'd never thought you'd have an ad read from the Brooklyn Bridge, but that is what is happening today. Sponsor of today's video. They've been with us for a long time. We really appreciate the support. Ciguera Gear, they make the belts. Doesn't matter if you're in Manhattan, you throw on multicam and the city folk deal with it. They can just deal with it, okay? They make the light inner Velcro belt, the Emissary belt, it's kind of my range belt, battle wagon, a bunch of other stuff for your vehicle, range belt setups, all kinds of stuff like that. The code is 1911 Syndicate. Highly suggest you check that out. Saves you 10% off the entire site. Hey there, fella, we're trying to film a movie down here, but sorry, Ciguera, we're doing our best here with choppers and all kinds of shit. But anyway, great gear. I got spot checked yesterday. Someone in New Jersey was like, show me your belt, dude. And I showed it to him and he was like, fair game, fair game. So it's on me, it should be on you. Thanks for the support, talk to you soon. Okay, the location is Central Park. What do you got? Let's hear it down in the comments, boys and girls. All right, next question. How can you justify an $8,000 gun for your EDC, or they word it as their EDC. Disclaimer, my EDC gun's not an $8,000 gun. It's not a cheap gun. It's a Nighthawk Treasure, but not $8,000. Answer to that question, I think you should do whatever makes you happy in life, man. If you're like, I like this gun and I have the money for it, who cares if you have an $8,000 EDC gun? That's my honest opinion. You know, a lot of people play the game of, well, I want a cheap EDC gun, I want a Glock because if I get in a shooting and it gets stolen, you know, at least it's not an expensive gun. Like, it's not that you're wrong. Again, I don't care if that's the choice that you make, if that makes you happy, but it's like, could you make an argument that having a awesome 1911 that's reliable with a crisp trigger and red dot and yada, 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 I shoot that better? Couldn't you argue that that's a perfectly adequate EDC gun? I think the ultimate answer is, it doesn't matter. If the gun makes you happy, it doesn't financially destroy you to have it, who cares? That's how you justify an $8,000 EDC gun. And it's like, hey, look, think about it in watches. Does an Apple Watch or a G-Shock do everything? I mean, literally like everything. Better than a IWC Pilot's watch? Yes. So let's see, where are we gonna go here? Let's go up. Yeah, it does. So why would you wear a mechanical wristwatch? Because maybe you just like nice shit. Maybe you're drawn to old school things and heritage and craftsmanship. That's the answer. It's like, dude, carry whatever you want. If that gun makes you happy, go for it. Next question. Let's see here. How did you get your start in real estate? What made you think to merge guns and real estate, and how's it going currently? Well, thank you for asking. Currently kind of sucks ass, to be honest with you. Market's not great, but it's a feast or famine kind of business. That is what it is. But how did I get my start? What made me think to merge the two? So I moved to Utah from Southern California about 8 years ago, and got my real estate license, and very quickly realized it's just kind of a nasty industry, and cut down this way, kind of a nasty industry, and I don't know, not really my thing. So I thought I would like to do real estate inside of like military, law enforcement, things like that. So maybe if I just start making kind of videos that those people watch, inside of those videos, I'll mention real estate. Maybe basically the idea for the YouTube channel was to just be the marketing arm of the real estate business. And now it's kind of its own entity. Obviously, we're in a different state filming the YouTube videos now, but that's it, man. Real estate was a clinical decision. It's like what everyone does when they're having a life crisis, they get the real estate license. So that's the honest answer. But I get to have fun merging it into this gun culture that we've got. And last question here. What gun or gear purchase did you make that was the most worth it, either from value or happiness? I would tell you, I think my Sig 551 would be really tough to argue with. I don't really shoot it that much. I will be shooting it in an upcoming video that hopefully is kind of cool. I would say that gun makes me happy. Very expensive. It's really a collector's play. I like that. Another example, recently picked up a USP match. USP match makes zero logical sense if all of your intent is to just shoot all your stuff. But it's like, that for me was a collector's piece that I don't really care what anyone else thinks about it. I'm like, that movie is iconically cool. It's a very famous movie gun, and I think it's awesome. It just makes me happy. So We're in Central Park. What would be the movie? Let's see in the comment if anyone has guessed and connected the dots that John McClane and Samuel L. Jackson, Zeus in the movie, tore this bitch up in a yellow cab in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Central Park, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Name the movie. What was it? In what movie did Ray's Original Pizza, the Ray's Original, guys, what did it play a vital role? Until we answer that, what do you guys think? Chime in the comments. New York or Chicago pizza? I'll tell you what I think. But first, the movie answer, Elf. And Elf is an action movie. If you need proof, the sled, the reindeer, Buddy gets in fights with the small fella. It's an action movie. And New York pizza kicks the shit out of Chicago pizza. Okay, here we are. Brooklyn Bridge, everyone. Brooklyn Bridge. That's the hint. The question, first one, why no review on Dan Wesson 1911s? So I sort of personally wanted to put this one in. I was a little hesitant too because it's gonna be a little bit of raw honesty. So it's nothing against Dan Wesson pistols. I actually think that $2,000 1911 or less, Dan Wesson might be the obvious champion of that. But the thing is this, guys, like there's two options. Either I have to buy a gun or a manufacturer, I might reach out to them, they may reach out to me, and I say, hey, we'd like to do a review on this, and they're like, sure. So we've reached out to Dan Wesson multiple times, they've never replied to me, so you go, okay, that means I'm stuck buying the pistol. I have a limited production budget, and a Dan Wesson gun simply fulfills no need, no genuine desire of mine. It's like I have that box checked. So for me to allot $2,000 of a relatively small production budget is simply not worth it. So yes, we'd be willing to do that review. Yes, Dan Wesson would have to provide the gun. That's the honest answer, you know? It's like that is the honest truth of it. Next question. If 1911s and 2011s didn't exist, what would be your go-to handgun? This one's actually pretty easy for me. So I am at my core a hammer-fired pistol guy. So I think you would see me probably even deeper into HK pistols, USPs, P2000s, hell, maybe a P7, you know, P30, thing like that. Like the Beretta 92 GTS really appeals to me. I really like that gun. Browning high powers. I think that's largely what I would be into if I didn't really care about 1911s or 2011s. Hammer fire guns, that's just where I'm at. Next question. Advice to create your first business and greetings from Switzerland. Well, greetings to you. Hope all is well in Switzerland. I love it there. Advice to create your first business. I don't think you should listen to me in terms of advice about creating a business. The only thing I would leave you with is, I think there's two approaches you can go. You can go a clinical route where it's like, hey, the business makes sense and all the logic and the data tells me this is the business to be in. Cool, that's fine. The only thing I would challenge you with is, do you actually enjoy that thing? Taking the path that I have in life, which is, I mean, we're in New York City filming a gun-esque video, is not the most profitable path, but I really love what I do. So I guess that would be the only thing I would tell you is find something that you like. And it doesn't mean that your business isn't gonna feel like work. People are like, oh, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I totally disagree with that. At some point, work is work. It's still tiring, it's still exhausting, it's still late nights, early mornings, all that kind of stuff. But if you love it, you're a lot more willing to do that without getting resentful about it. That's just my personal opinion. Then last question for here, if you had to, what polymer pistol would you carry? Well, you didn't say striker fire, you said polymer. So, like I just got a HKP 2000, I'm planning on carrying that some once it gets back from my trigger job from James Williamson. There you go, that's probably my answer. Sig 365 XL, historically, the macro really does appeal to me, but at the same time, I had a really dicey experience on that AXG Legion version with the slop that's in the trigger unit or FCU or whatever it is. So anyway, that's what I would do. Answer, Brooklyn Bridge, what's the movie? The answer is a few, but the route I was going, I Am Legend. That's right, kind of it's like a 2-hour movie where the first hour is great, the second hour really sucks. But basically, we got a zombie invasion that's happening. And Will Smith, right? He's the man, he's a scientist, he's trying to get his family out before the invasion gets at a bad point. and his family, they're heading out. And then the fucking Air Force comes in and blows up the Brooklyn Bridge right as his family's getting out. So it's a bummer, you know, bummer. Thanks a lot, Air Force, for blowing up the Brooklyn Bridge. Hopefully our time here doesn't end the same way. But the correct answer, I am legend. Guys, do you know what New York City is not a big fan of? Freedom, firearms, fun. Well, maybe not fun. I mean, they have turned the Woolman rink where they do the ice skating around the holidays into a pickleball tournament. So it's got that going for it. I will tell you who loves freedom, loves fun, loves firearms. That would be our friends at Big Tex Ordnance. They've got all the kind of gear that we shoot. I've purchased from them for many years at this point. If you need a Surefire, like X300 with 1 million lumens, they've got it. They'll ship it to you. If you place the order before 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, they'll ship it out the same day. And if they say it's in stock, it's in stock. Disclaimer, not actual 1 million lumens, but whatever like the latest, greatest iteration of an X300 is, they're gonna have that. Along with a bunch of other stuff. You should definitely check it out. The code there that you guys can plug in to save 10% off is 1911 SYN, S-Y-N, 1911 SYN, like a bunch of 1911 sinners over here. Massive gear selection, really good dudes there. Appreciate their support, check them out. If you guys need real estate help, actually, I do vaguely know an agent here around New York City. So hell, if you're on the island of Manhattan, you need to buy one of those like $30 million condos or something like that, let us know. We'd really genuinely love to facilitate that. Real estate link down in the bio, also, or not bio, video description, and then the Patreon link is down there as well if you guys want behind the scenes stuff, like our Patreon community. They get a little sneak peek about what we're working on now, special merch classes, things like that. Anyway, really appreciate the support. On with the show. Okay, next question. Breakdown rifle and AR seem to be a big trend. Where does it go from here? Timed barrels, captured springs, folding stocks, all while claiming to hold their MOA, but are they gonna be reliable? Basically, the question is the gym bag, the fold-up gun, what the market is really asking for? I will adamantly say no on this. I found it to be a very interesting question, and in my opinion, no. I even find myself guilty of it, where people are like, they post this new gun that's coming out, I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know, it folds up into like a little tiny suitcase kind of thing, but I never find myself wanting it, and frankly, I'm not convinced that you guys want it. I think it's just one of those gimmicky things. I don't think that anyone is buying these. I think that we hit this point of ARs where people got a little bored and they started adding more and more shit, like law folders and the this and the that, and it's like, who needs this stuff? Like, who needs it? Same with like interchangeable uppers, where people are like, but 300 black, you know, I have this one lower and I can do 2 different things, 300 black, 556. Yeah, but is anyone doing that? I'm not convinced that anyone's actually doing that. So no, in my opinion, that is not what the market is asking for. Next question. What do you think of Infinity now that they seem to be doing less drops, or basically seem to be doing drops as opposed to full custom builds like they historically were? I think it's interesting. Would it be my choice of what to do? No. I mean, the custom route is the really, really cool thing. I also get it from their side, which is, it is massively logistically complicated. As someone who's been in their facility, is massively logistically complicated to do 600 actual one-off custom guns a year. It's such a tall order. So I get the drop thing. I think business-wise, it's smart. From the consumer perspective, no, it's not as enticing, but at the end of the day, it's like they got to look out for their company. So I get where they're coming from on that. Next question. What was the first gun that I ever bought? HK USP. It was an HK USP in double to single action. I wound up hating the trigger, so I sold the gun. Whereas if someone were to come to me with that dilemma now, I would say, oh, the gun isn't what you dislike. You dislike a heavy double action trigger pull. So the answer is swap out to the LEM trigger. But yeah, first gun I ever bought was USP. Unfortunately, sold it and then reclaimed it, rebought it. Fucking New York, you know? It's like, it's almost as if they don't know we're trying to make movies over here. But yeah, anyway, that got to the question somewhere in there. Last question, why are you the way you are? You know, just am that way. Just am that way. It's in the DNA. It just is what it is at this point. Can't really come up with a good answer for it. It just be what it be kind of thing. So anyway, can you guys guess the final action movie location? If you can't guess this, guys, you're useless. You're useless if you can't guess it. Johnny Wick. Come on, old Jonathan Wick checking into the Continental Hotel. That's it. That's where they laid it down. You don't pay with cash, you pay with a gold coin. That's how the deal works. So anyway, guys, we'll just wrap it up. A couple final thoughts. Just a bit of a thank you. You know, we started this channel like 4 years ago, and with really, truthfully, no plan. And so to, you know, film in New York City, even though it's, you know, just doing a Q&A, it's really kind of a surreal thing. So for us, like, hey, we really love doing this shit. We hope you guys enjoy it, because for us, it's a labor of love. We enjoy it, but it's also a lot of work. So hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Talk to you later.